So for these first two examples, we are going to graph both of these, and then we're going to determine the domain and range. So I have the function f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x plus 5. My first step is to find and graph the axis of symmetry. So remember the axis of symmetry, that is x is equal to the opposite of b over 2a. And so I need to plug in my information there. And so remember a, that's the number in front of x squared, b is the number in front of x, and c is the number in front of, or is that last number that doesn't have an x with it. So here my b value is -6, so when I take the opposite sign of that, this is going to become a positive 6 over 2 times a, which is 3. So I get 6 over 6. So I have that x is equal to 1. And so that means that my first step here is I'm going to graph my axis symmetry. Remember with x equals 1, that's a vertical line because this is a vux. So V stands for vertical, so I'm going to go to 1, and I'm going to draw a dashed line right there. A dashed vertical line at x equals 1. So I did my first step. My second step is to find and plot my vertex. So I already have the x-coordinate of my vertex, but now I need to find the y-coordinate. So remember for that, I need to plug in 1 wherever I see an x. So I have 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 5. Three minus 6, I get -3. -3 plus 5, I get 2. So that means that my vertex is at 1, 2. So now I'm going to go ahead and plot that. Then my third step is to plot my y-intercept. So remember your y-intercept, that is always 0, c. And so here, my c value is 5, so that means that my y-intercept is at 0, 5. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now to find my third point, again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reflect this point from my axis of symmetry. And so I see that this point is 1 point away from here. So I'm going to go 1 point in the opposite direction, which is right there. So I see I just reflected it over. They're both the same distance away from my vertical line. And then now I can go ahead and draw in my parabola. And then lastly, I asked for domain and range. Again, domain is just always going to be all real numbers. Since this one is opening upwards, it's going to be y is greater than or equal to, and it's always y is greater than or equal to the y value of your vertex. And so here, that's going to be 2. Okay, let's try another one. So I have f of x is equal to x squared minus 8x plus 7. So my a value is 1, my b value is -8, my c value is 7. So finding my axis symmetry first, I know it's going to be opposite of b over 2a. Opposite of -8 is +8 over 2 times 1. And so that means that x is going to equal to 4. So I want to go to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to draw a vertical dashed line through it. Next, I need to finish finding my vertex. So I need to plug in 4 into my function here. So I have y is equal to 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 7. So 4 squared, I get 16 minus 32 plus 7. So that's negative 16 plus 7, I get negative 9. And so that means that my vertex is going to be at 4, negative 9. So I want to go down 9 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next, I need to figure out what my y-intercept is. Well, I know my y-intercept is always at my c value, and my c value here is 7. So I'm going to go to 7, plot my point. And now I want to reflect this point across my axis of symmetry. And so here I see this is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the axis of symmetry. So I want to go 4 on the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then now I can draw my parabola. If this is a little more difficult for you to follow for this reflecting, another way that you can find another point is to go ahead and plug in another x value here. So for instance, you could go ahead and plug in, let's say like 6 into here, and then you can find your other y point. But I can go ahead and show you that in the next set of examples. But again, here for domain, that's going to be all real numbers. And then range here, since it's opening up, it's going to be y is greater than or equal to, and it's always your y value in the vertex. So y is greater than or equal to negative 9.